What it means for us, look, we're really proud of this award because we've worked hard as an organisation over the last 6 years to actually address our carbon footprint in the South Australian community and to reduce our carbon emissions. And it's been a quest that we've been on, not just from a board level, but all of our staff have participated in it, and it's been a tremendous accomplishment. And it's amazing now to actually get this public recognition and recognition through the Climate Awards. So we're enormously proud for actually winning tonight. You know, it's one thing for the organisation to say we want to reduce our emissions and we want to become carbon neutral, but we knew that the only way we were going to be able to achieve that objective was to get the staff to buy into it and to come on board to actually lead the change. And at the end of the day, if they weren't committed to it, if they weren't actually pushing for this, we wouldn't have actually got to where we are, which is being the first carbon neutral organisation in South Australia and the first charity in Australia to be recognised as carbon neutral. So they came up with the ideas. They looked at the sort of thing, their practices, their day-to-day practices. It was led by a lot of behavioural change in the organisation. You know, the way we did everything from, reducing our prints to the way we got rid of our rubbish to the way we actually managed our vehicles and mileage. There was a number of things that the staff led and identified things that we could do that would actually reduce our emissions. So our award is really testimony to their achievements. When we started on this journey 5 or just almost now 6 years ago, and we as a board said that we would actually have an objective of becoming carbon neutral, we had to work and sit down really with our staff and managers and say what were the sort of things that were contributing primarily to our carbon footprint across all of our sites in South Australia, and we identified the things that mattered most. Our vehicle emissions, we have a big fleet of vehicles. We do a lot of visits to people's homes in terms of providing community aged care packages, supporting people with disabilities, assisting people who are vulnerable in the community. We realised that one of the things we could do immediately was actually shift to a different set of vehicles. So we transited most of our fleet to hybrid vehicles, and that reduced a whole heap of emissions. We realised by retrofitting a lot of our properties with appliances that used a lot less electricity, that would make a big difference. We realised that we could actually do a lot more with our waste streams, particularly of our residential aged care homes. And so they were the big ticket items that we were able to identify. And then beyond that, it was actually just working on behaviour changes. I mean, the simple things that we often talk about, people switching off the lights at night and during the day when they're actually not using their computers, actually turning them off. And they weren't probably the main gains, but they actually helped to actually achieve what we've ultimately become, which is the first carbon neutral organisation in SA. I mean, the motivation for this in large part was what we realised that the people that were doing it toughest around climate change were the people that were most vulnerable. And so as an organisation, we took on that responsibility to say, it wasn't good enough for us to help those people meet their sort of day-to-day challenges and, the challenges of actually paying increasing electricity bills and the like, that we needed to do something as an organisation. And so for us, winning this award is as much about providing a message to our fellow organisations around South Australia and around Australia that this is something that is possible to achieve, that you can do this. You're not only doing great things for the environment and therefore making a difference in terms of the impacts on the climate and on global warming, but it also ultimately means savings for the organisation. So I guess our quest really in becoming the first organisation of our kind to achieve this is to actually send a message out to other organisations that this is possible. It does take a little bit of work, it does take a little bit of investment up front, but the dividends are enormous. The payback is significant, and so if we can be seen to be a bit of a pioneer that helps to encourage others to take on this challenge, then we'll feel really pleased about where we've got to today.